Now it's time to be laying a foundation for an actual sequence, and we're going to be learning about the different sorts of edits that we can perform using Premiere. In this project, I have videos, stills, and some audio that I've already inserted, and if we open up the video bin, you'll see that some of the videos are tagged with a green label. I went through the videos and kind of tagged the ones that I wanted to use within my project. It is worth mentioning that some of the videos that I'm going to be using are my 5K, and some of them are considerably smaller. So what I'll do to set up my project is I'm going to set the sequence with the smaller clips so that the sequence size is based on those clips. So just to get started, I'm going to grab one of these and drag it into the timeline, which of course is going to create the sequence based on the specifications for this particular clip. So our sequence size will match the size of this clip. If I want to add additional clips, so let's just click on this clip right here, and this one doesn't happen to have any in and out points, so if I was to drag this into my project and place it here, you will see that this particular clip is going to be larger, so it's really quite a bit zoomed in. With this clip selected, I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose Scale to Frame Size, and this will allow the clip to scale down. Even though these clips are different sizes, they are the same aspect ratio, so when this clip gets scaled down, I don't have any of those bars that we saw earlier. Because these clips contain both video and audio, the information that is being inserted into the sequence are going to be both video and audio tracks. By default, your video and audio tracks are going to be set to V1 and A1, but if we were to unlink one of these by simply clicking, if I was to grab another clip, so let's just load a different clip into the timeline, and if I drag this in, you will see that this clip only inserts video. And let's just change our zoom. We can change the zoom in the timeline by using these little controls right here. So if I pull to the left, I'm zooming in. If I pull to the right, I'm zooming out. And you can see how this clip right here, down the way, it only shows video, no audio. And the same thing would happen if we target the audio track and uncheck our video track. Now, if I was to drag this clip in, you'll see that it only is going to place the audio, not the video. So these little blue indicators are going to control which particular track the information gets added to. If we were to, for whatever reason, move the target video and audio to the A2 and the V2 tracks, if I go ahead and insert this clip now and I drag it in, you'll see that I can insert it into the V2 and A2 tracks. Now, when you're dragging clips in, you can really place them anywhere on the timeline. But if we happen to use the keyboard shortcuts to insert our clips, then they will go into the target tracks. So in order to insert this clip using the keyboard, which is much quicker, we'll use the comma key. And the comma key will go ahead and add the video and audio, if it exists, into the targeted tracks. So if I was to move these back to V1 and A1 and click comma again, you can see those get added into the video 1 and A1 tracks. The comma key on your keyboard is a good way to add these clips. Sometimes when you've set up an edit inside of Premiere, you may decide that some clip that you want to incorporate into your project. So let's just load this clip right here. And it is worth mentioning that this clip only has an out point. So far, we've set both in and out points. If you only set one, for instance, the out point, the in point is just going to be the beginning of the clip. So you don't have to specifically set both in and out points if you want the in or the out point to be at the beginning or ending of the clip. You can just set one point as well. And let's say I want to insert this into my project. Note where the playback head is right now. If I go ahead and I use that comma key, you'll see that what's going to happen is it's going to insert this content in between the existing clip. I'm going to click undo or Command or Control Z. So notice how long the duration is. It's right here, right under about 40 seconds. And when I click my comma key to insert this clip, it inserts it in between. So it actually cut the existing clip that was there, inserted this 10-second clip roughly in between, and then it's going to play the rest of this. It's probably not what I want to do. So if you want to easily get in between clips, you can drag your playback head, but there's a good chance when you drag your playback head that you might not get to the exact location. Like, it might look like you're in the exact location, but it might not be quite there. So if I was to go ahead and click my comma key to insert this new clip, it's going to insert it. But what happens if we play this clip right here, and of course this clip is not quite the right size, so just note that this is zoomed out. I'm going to delete this eventually, so I'm not going to worry about it. But if we play this, and I'm using the keyboard shortcut of spacebar, you'll see that there is a very slight, just for one frame in between, an instance of the first clip. It's a couple frames. This behavior right here is called a flash frame, and that is something that we want to avoid. You don't want to have a flash frame. So once again, I'm just going to undo by clicking Command or Control Z to get back to where I was before. And an easy way to get in between the frames is not necessarily to drag your playback head, because there is a chance that you're going to make an error. If you use your up and down arrow keys, that will allow you to jump to the previous edit or the next edit. So if I click my down arrow key, you can see that the playback head goes to the end. If I click my up arrow key, it now appears between these clips. And if I click up again, it's at the beginning. Let's just say I wanted to insert this particular clip in between these two. I'm going to place my playback head in between the two clips, and then I can use the comma key. And now the new clip gets inserted in between these, and the original last clip just gets pushed over to the right. So this is called an insert edit. Another way that you can ensure that you're getting right in between the frames is to shift, hold, and drag. So if you shift, hold, and drag, your playback head kind of jumps, it magnetically kind of clicks in between the frames, and it will snap to the section in between the frames. That can be really helpful as well. In addition to using our comma key to insert a particular clip, so let's just find another clip that we want to use in our project. Here's another one right here. And this one I've already set my in and out points, so it's just this little last portion of the clip. If I want to insert this, if you go to your source pane and you use the insert button right here, that will do the same thing as using the comma. And you can see when I hover over it, shows me the comma is the keyboard shortcut. But if I click right here, that will insert. So whenever we do an insert edit, it is going to insert whatever the clip is that we're using in between existing content. And that works at the end of the edit too. So if I just move my playback head to the end of our edit and I go ahead and use the insert button once again, it just inserts that clip to the end of our project. The other thing that I wanted to show you is, let's just say my playback head is in between these two clips, so we'll go ahead and position the playback head there by using our down and up arrow keys. And if you want to drag the clip into the timeline, so if I grab this clip right now and drag it into the timeline, what's going to happen is this is going to perform something called an overwrite. And it basically is going to replace that portion of the clip. So I've overwritten the original clip. If that is not something that you want to do, if we hold down our command key when we're dragging and we position the clip here and let go, as long as our command or control key are down, that will also perform an insert edit. So insert edits allow us to insert a clip into the timeline, either at the beginning or the end, or as you can see, we can insert content in between existing clips. That's really important to be able to do that, because as you develop your projects, you may find that you want to switch things around or insert something in between the clips. So knowing how to control Premiere and insert the elements is going to be really helpful. And honestly, once you learn the keyboard shortcuts, that probably is going to be the easiest way for you to insert these clips into your project. But I did want to show you the non-shortcut way, just so you know the various methods of being able to add something into your project.